Hello, everyone. Tomorrow is 3 weeks since I had my baby, and I'm very excited to share with you my birth story. It's been asked a lot by friends and family. I have a tendency now, it's my second birth, to give birth in a very natural way. And a lot of women ask me how, why, when, where. So I'm here to answer all of these questions. This is me attempting this for fifth time, I think now. It's not easy, but the baby's asleep, and let's hope we can do it in half an hour. Welcome to Do Not Disturb, the inside story. I'm your host, Simona Deifta. So, when I got pregnant with my first son, Samuel, I was very young. I was still in university, and it all came a little bit as a shock. So I made sure to study like every single book about pregnancy and birth, and I wanted to be really, really equipped. I knew that Samuel would be born somewhere in April, and my exams were starting in May. So I really wanted to feel empowered and ready. At that time, everyone was having epidural. My mom and my grandmother had natural births, but they didn't talk about it as a fantastic experience. It was an experience, but they said, wow, epidural is such a great option. If I had it, I would take it. A lot of people were opting in for cesarean, but to be honest, I didn't have a lot of friends who were giving birth at all. So I wanted to really dive deep in the topic and know what my options were. And back then, I set out for an NHS um, birth center, not a hospital, and I wanted to give birth in water. Not many people around me did that. My mom actually strongly advised me against it, but I felt like that was the best thing for me. Sometimes they call water births like midwife's epidural, and I really felt like that. I ended up having a 4 hour water birth in the birth center in London. Nobody touched me, nobody interrupted me, nobody shouted instructions, and it was one of the best days in my life. Honestly, for the last 10 and a half years, that's how old my first one is, I've been dreaming of repeating that experience again. It was so special, so empowering, so wonderful. It was definitely not scary. It was one of the best days in my life. That's why when I got pregnant this time, I really, really, really believed in my body. And my second birth was very different. So it was interesting experience that I'm here to share. My first birth was also back to back, and my baby was 4 kilos. So big baby back to back. It had strong pressure on my pelvic floor, but it literally flied out of me. My second birth is a little bit different, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Starting with a pregnancy, my pregnancy was very normal, positive pregnancy. First few weeks, I had nausea, but nothing extraordinary. In the second trimester, I developed something called vulvar varicositis, which means big swollen veins that are painful. Whenever you have some pain during the pregnancy, I remind myself it's temporary, it's not a sickness, and I definitely know it will end. And in my case, the varicositis didn't stay longer than just the second trimester, and it kind of went out by itself by the time the third trimester started. So I was very lucky. I stayed active throughout the whole pregnancy. I had the power. I was feeling great. I walked my dogs. I have two dogs. I played with Samuel, my son. I worked until almost the last day. Luckily, my due date was in September, so August was lighter on work, but I had the energy to do so. The problem in my pregnancy was that from about 30 weeks onwards, my plans started falling apart. So I was really dreaming about having a home birth, but my team that was supposed to do the home birth, they rejected to take me. They said the baby was too big and I need to watch for the risk of diabetes. So I started wearing like a Libra, which is a glucose monitor. and I had to do lots of tests, and we were constantly monitoring me for risk of diabetes that thankfully I didn't develop, but my babies are naturally big, so they will always say risk of diabetes when the baby is quite big. Then they started saying that I have a risk of preeclampsia. So I had to measure my pressures 3 times a day and do lots of urine tests and lots of analysis. And then we ruled that out as well. But that was like another risk. Then they were saying I cannot have a natural birth because my baby was already like estimated to be over 4 kilos. And I was saying, well, listen, I had already a 4 kilo baby. Like if it was the first time, maybe I would believe you, but I had a 4 kilo baby. I had a back to back 4 kilo baby, and it was okay. So let me walk till the end, and let me trust my body. And if it's not okay, we can decide in the moment. So every appointment was like very fear driven, blood pressure checks, urine jugs. Like I had to literally pee in a jug for 24 hours at some point. They asked me to do a kick monitor where you put all the kicks in the app, and then your doctor can also see that. Constant monitoring. At the end of the pregnancy, I had to like really go to see a doctor every second day, and it was really getting to me. By 37 weeks, they were really pushing for a membrane sweep, which is a natural way to induce labor. And a friend of mine did that, and that didn't go well. So I kept denying it. Of course, in this environment, I did not go into labor by 40 weeks. And the due date was over at 40 weeks. And the doctors were like saying, you have to be induced. Listen, the baby's like over 4 kilos. You're going to get tired. We need to induce the labor. 40 weeks in one day, 40 weeks in 2 days. I'm at the hospital and they're saying you're not leaving until we at least do the membrane sweep. And I'm going with the doctor through all the reasons why she thinks it needs to be done. And I say, I just don't feel it's right. It's going to happen any minute. Like baby's descending. Just let my body do the job. And she said, okay, by tomorrow morning, if you're not here, you have to be induced. And I denied and I went home, and it was pretty hard at home to explain why am I not listening to the doctors for the last 10 weeks now and 2 days. And I told him, listen, if not all these doctor appointments the last few weeks, really, I would be already in labor. They are just taking me out of my bubble, out of my space, and not letting me have the baby. I said to him, you know what? I think I might have it today. Like, I'm totally ready. I just need time for me. So, what I did is order my favorite food like falafel and hummus and pita. And I ate some chocolate cake. And I turned on Celine Dion songs and Britney Spears. And we had a real blast. I called my mom and cried a little bit as well. And I was like, they want to induce me. It was my dream to have another natural labor. I really don't want to do that. And then I went to sleep. And guess what? That night, labor started. So now I'm going to give you a timeline of labor, which I think is very important. My labors are fast. So we knew that. And my family members' labors are fast too. So we briefed the doctor, but we also briefed the hospital. I did that when I had a baby with NHS as well, because hospitals usually are told to turn away women or put them in a waiting room because births can take a very long time. So because we briefed them, we were able to go straight into the delivery room without any necessary paperwork or being held up at the reception. My labor started at 1:30 a.m. was a bloody show. I had some pictures from the midwife of how the show can look like, which was very helpful because if you see some blood when you're pregnant, you can get nervous. I knew that that's the start of real labor. That is not the case for everybody. It can be the beginning of the signs of the labor, and then it can be 72 hours or whatever, still progressing. For me, with Samuel, bloody show meant I'm going in the delivery room very soon. So I had very strong contractions for 1 minute long every 5 minutes. Around 3 a.m., I asked Hinata to call the doctor and let her know. He was like, well, it might take long and she might be sleeping. One look in my eyes and he understood we are calling the doctor. He called the doctor and he said, go to the hospital. So 3:30 we left to the hospital and 4 a.m. we were already in the delivery room. Hinato is going to kill me for saying that to you. Hinato is my partner. And he took his hospital bag, but he didn't take mine. He left it in the car. And once we were in the delivery room, the hospital policy was that we are not allowed to leave the delivery room until the baby comes. So I was there without any of my things. And let me tell you, if you're packing your hospital bag, you don't need anything, apparently. You're gonna be just fine without anything. The only thing that I had with me in my hands is this water bottle that I literally bought on the day of birth. And it was amazing because it has a straw and it's quite hot in those birth pool rooms. So Hinata was able to give me water like this. And it was life saving to have this water bottle. And also during breastfeeding sessions after, it's just such a great thing to have. I also bought on Amazon this little bag so I can carry my phone and my credit card. I love it. 4 a.m., we're in the birth room, delivery room, and around 5 a.m., things started really escalating hard. And 8:54, the baby was born. So this is not a fast birth. It's not a long birth. It's a very normal second baby birth timeline. I think it could be much quicker if I was not interrupted all the time. And I'll tell you now about the pushing and the active part and how the environment was not what I needed. If you're listening and finding this helpful, take a second to follow or subscribe. It helps us keep bringing you the conversations that rarely happen but really matter. Now, back to it. So Samuel literally flied out of me. My first baby, I was in the water, I was roaring, and I experienced something called fetal ejection when you don't have to push, you just let the contractions guide the baby down and out of your body, and he literally just flied out. Here, I was constantly told, like, push like this, squat, get the ropes. They were rubbing me, they were touching me. And that's great. Like, if that's something that your body needs, please be touched and massaged. It's definitely not what I needed. And I was very clear about it in my written birth plan and whilst in the birth room. And I'm like a very nice and polite. And I was like, please don't touch me. Please don't talk to me. Please don't tell me what to do. Just let me be. I need to be in my bubble. And they were like, push, push, grab the ropes. Don't scream. You're wasting energy on screaming. You need to be like contracting forward. And I don't like with Samuel is just opening up and letting the baby go through. And please, if there are any doctors here, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing my opinion. I needed to scream. I needed to be on all fours. I needed to be in the water. And they were like, go out of the water for monitoring, stay in the water longer. You need antibiotics. They put IV in my veins. I was so sick for an hour, vomiting, like disgusting. Honestly, I thought I'm going to die from vomiting. Thanks God for my water bottle. And they were like, push, push. At some point, I was like, shut up. And that's like so not me. I just couldn't believe, like, there were so many people telling me what to do all the time. I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up, leave me alone. Like, Hinata said he never seen me like that. Like, I was like a lion guarding my territory. I was like, get out of here, shut up. Like, it was unbelievable. My head was exploding just from the amount of information they were giving me. It's like, I just let me do my job. But they didn't get the message, believe it or not. And I really think they meant well, but it was really not working for me. It was very hard and I felt like battling the doctor all the time. And she tells me I have to push. I'm getting tired. The baby's not going to exit. So I was trying to do what she's telling me. But at the same time, I was not doing what my body is telling me. And then I was trying to do what my body is telling me. And then she would give me all this advice because it didn't correspond to what she was saying. And it was just like back and forth for, I think, good 2 hours of trying to find that rhythm. And it was really, really tiring me up. I actually thought that I cannot do it at some point. And that was the point when I thought, okay, I know why women get epidural. I know what women want a cesarean. Like, I literally thought, I cannot do it anymore. I am tired. Feels so heavy. It's such a battle. It's not a pleasant experience. I don't want it. I did not feel any of these feelings with Samuel. Like, it was literally all a bliss. So it was very new for me and disappointing and sad because I was so looking forward for 10 and a half years to do this again. So I'm like, I cannot do it. They're like, you have to get out of water, off to gynecological chair. I sit there on my back and they're like, push, push, push. Looks like a American movie. And that's not how I gave birth to Samuel. Like, I looked more like a cow on the field, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But they're like, push, push. Maybe that's how women give birth in epidural, and maybe that's what the doctors were used to in this hospital. But that is not how natural birth happens. And they're putting all these echo monitors for the baby, and they're putting IV, and there are like so many people around me, and the doctor's like, the shoulders are very big, he's not gonna come, he's not gonna. You don't want to hear when you're pushing out a 4.3 kilo baby that he's not gonna come out. She's like, but we need an epistomy, and like epistomy, I think it's called, when they cut between vagina and anus. And she's like, you need to push harder, Simona. You need to give me your hands and push. And I was like, oh my God, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not able to give birth in this environment. I'm sorry. Maybe there are some women who can. I cannot give birth in this environment. Like, fuck this shit. I literally rip all the fucking wires out of my body. And Nato goes like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, they have to monitor you, the baby. I'm like, fuck this shit. Get out of here. I go on a little sofa, not covered, not stereo, nothing. I just press my head against the wall. I like roar like a wild animal. I grab Hinato's hand. I grab another hand. I grab sofa like real hard. And I'm like, get the head, Hinata, it's out. And then he's like, doctor. And he like was filming, he stops filming, like mic drop. She's like, turn around. The baby flies out of me. No tearing, no nothing, no epistomy. Shoulders were fine. Everyone was fine. I was just like, I need it, like head to the wall. Like, I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to hear anyone. Just let me roar it out. And here he was out. And you know what? They put the baby on the shoulder, on your chest. And it's like always forgotten. It's amazing. Like, you think you cannot do it. That's the moment when you know it's done, pretty much, first of all. Second of all, when they put the baby on your chest, it's like all of it never happened. The hormones just flush your body and you're like, oh my God, this is the best thing in my life. Like, happiness. Hinata is like, what the fuck just happened? Like, the doctors are like, you just sent us to hell, And I'm like, blissful, wonderful. Like, what a joy of life. So remember, there is a finish line and it's all going to be worth it. So how do I push my babies out the way I do? And I think there is a little bit of a formula here that I will share with you now. What prepares me for a good birth? First of all, it's the mindset. Always mindset. So I think reading a lot of books helps. And Catherine in the episode 1 shares all the wonderful books. My favorite one is Spiritual Midwifery by Ina May Gaskin. It's really hipsterish and it's quite hard to read for a modern woman. But honestly, by the time you finish reading it, you're just so empowered by all the wonderful stories on the farm of women giving birth that you think they can do it. I can do it. I also watch quite a lot of YouTube videos of other women giving births in the pool or naturally or at home. And that makes me feel like a tribe. And that's why I wanted to share my story as well. Listening to other doulas helps just to get their views and ideas. And again, feel that sense of community. So I didn't realize how empowering was my first episode that we recorded with Catherine. She says like how we play the child death card. I hate that word, but I thought, oh my God, did this episode help me like and prepare me to deal with the doctors and not get overwhelmed and anxious during all these last weeks of pregnancy? Then another quite weird thing that I do is I watch mammals give birth. So, I looked exactly like this cow here. I'm going to link it.
When she does a big push, you can kind of see the calf's tongue. It's obviously coming out with its tongue out. She's all right at the minute. She's still giving really big pushes, so she's just tired. I want to go and give her a cuddle.
Cows and giraffes and elephants do not give birth in a gynecological chair. I think there is a reason for that. Another thing that helped me is hypnobirthing. So I know there are coaches and courses out there. I did not do that. It's quite expensive and time consuming. But I downloaded this app called Freya, which helped me a lot. I used their meditations in the evenings in the last weeks just to get rid of that noise in my head during the pregnancy. And then throughout my birthing for like 9 hours, I had it on my phone. And it just helps me during contractions to listen to the voice of the lady who does the meditation to take away the sensations that I'm going through. So I don't like using a word pain to describe labor or contractions. I don't think they're painful. I think they're really powerful and very strong, but I do not think they're painful. And I think word pain gives us fear. And if you feel fear, then your body will contract. And that's the opposite of what you want to do. You don't want to let that adrenaline in. You want to lean towards oxytocin, the love hormone. So you really want to feel happy and good throughout the pregnancy and also during labor. So things that make me happy are walks outside, playing with dogs, cooking special dishes that I love, maybe buying myself flowers sometimes, hugging Samuel and Hinato, cleaning the house. I really organized a lot of the rooms in my house, and it gave me a lot of joy, and spending time with family and calling my grandmother and calling my friends that are all far away, unfortunately. Sex is definitely something that helps me rise my oxytocin levels. It also helps to prepare the vagina for delivery. If you are in the mood for sex, sex is a great stimulant for a healthy pregnancy and birth. Meditating, sometimes just walking and meditating, taking a deep breath. But there are also many meditations on the Freya app. My mantra throughout the pregnancy was I get to do this, not I have to do this. So it's a very blissful and special experience that we get to do and get to be grateful for. I think in general, the mindset of complaining during pregnancy, like, oh, my back hurts, oh, my stomach is heavy, oh, I got a stretch mark. If you're like this during pregnancy, girl, how are you going to deliver the baby? Like, that's going to be quite a line to cross. So, forget complaining and focus on gratitude and joy and being like, oh my God, the baby's kicking. I mean, you are making a real human being. You have two hearts beating inside you. This is miraculous and crazy and incredible and wonderful. So really get on the journey, take pictures of your bump, adore your body, and be so, so, so grateful. There's so many women who are trying to get pregnant or dream of having a baby and are unable for so many reasons. So if you are pregnant, enjoy the ride. And I really think that is the main secret of successful pregnancy and birth is to just be positive and focus on the good in every moment. Every pregnancy will be different, every birth will be different. Sometimes you carry your body, sometimes your body carries you. Both are valid, both are very powerful. I think another important thing is to acknowledge the partner side. So that's something I didn't actually look at in my first pregnancy, but Catherine helped me look at it. And now with Hinato, I didn't realize how much partners struggle. Like, doctor in one ear, women in another. And it's hard for them. They need to take decisions quickly. They want to do the right thing. They're going to be living with the consequences. They are not feeling what you feel, but they want to be supportive. It's hard, it's scary. And honestly, Hinato did so well. He was holding my hand throughout all contractions. He was there for me. He was so calm. He was pouring water in the shower on my back and my stomach. He knows me better than anyone else. He was better than nurses. The doctor was like, give me this. He was there giving it to her. He was phenomenal. And I don't think I could have done it without him during this birth. And I don't think I could have done my first one without my first partner. And if you're in doubt about bringing your partner or not to the birth, my personal experience would be 100% bring them, because emotionally, it will be such a uniting experience. Um, it's something you live through once, and to experience that with the person you love is just very, very special. Something else I wanted to share is that when they put the baby on my chest, not every hospital, unfortunately, in the world is still on board with that, but I was very vocal, and this hospital was on board about the golden hour. So that's when the baby stays on your chest for an hour after giving birth with no interventions. And I didn't even put a diaper, I just put a fresh muslin around him. And we stayed together, really cherishing those moments that I described before. And we didn't cut the cord until it was white. So it's called wait for white. And he was just there, and it was such a bliss. Unfortunately, he didn't latch so properly, ending up really bruising my nipples. And I need to tell you that breastfeeding should not be hard. If the baby has a deep latch, there are many books, but you can just Google deep latch, then there will be no pain. Breastfeeding is supposed to be this joyful experience. To me, the first latch of the baby is like when Avatar connects to the flying animal that they have, and they just like feel that connection. It's something like that. You're just downloading that information of the baby, and it's insane wonderful. I love breastfeeding. And if you struggle with breastfeeding, if it's painful, please, please, please ask for help. Your midwife, your hospital, someone around you, Google things. You can solve it very quickly. My nipples were like bleeding after my baby that got a nickname of Dogomatrix after damaging my nipples latched on improperly. Good news is nipples heal very fast. So 1 week, if you corrected your latch, and you will not hurt anymore. There are also amazing things like ice packs, special round donuts. We had a guest that recommended silver nipple caps. You can buy them in Boots. Lanolin creams. I start applying it before I give birth a few weeks to prepare my nipples. Unfortunately, that didn't help much, but it does help during breastfeeding a lot, especially during those first weeks. And hospitals should be able to help you and your baby correct the latch very quickly. After I had Samuel, I was offered an ice cream because your sugar crush is real after giving birth for 9, 10, 20 hours. Here, I was not given anything. And honestly, pack your snacks. Like, the hunger that I experienced was real. So bring snacks. I did pack them, but somebody forgot the hospital bag. I'll never let it go. But yeah, pack your snacks, bring them yourself, girl. Nobody's gonna do it for you. No, but seriously, ask for snacks. Like, just your sugar is gonna drop, so be ready for that. My main message to the women of the world: I'm definitely not against medicine. Medicine is wonderful. I mean, the ultrasound machine predicted my baby's weight to the gram, 4 kilos, 350 grams. Interventions save lives. They are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things that we invented. Women used to die during childbirth all the time. But educate yourself, learn the terms, educate yourself about your body and how you feel inside your body. Trust your body, trust what it needs. Does it need some rest now? Do you need to push now? Do you want to stretch now? Really learn to feel your body cues. Again, medicine is great. Listen to the doctor's advice, do the exams, eat healthy, take care of yourself. But they don't tell the whole story. They don't tell, like, how do you feel? What is your body telling you? Like, how do you live your life? They were telling me you have diabetes and preeclampsia, but I was running around. I was happy. I was feeling great in my body. So add your body and your gut feeling and your heart as a part of the picture of exams. Don't listen just to exams. Because I think we are almost in the place where exams are so accurate, they can find things that you don't have. Birth should not be feared. It's not a fearful experience. It's a empowering experience. It's a rite of passage women have always walked since the history of time. For me, birth is just that. It's raw, it's primal, it's intense, and it's completely mine. I just wish I told everyone to shut up earlier and could really, really connect with my body and myself and enjoy this ride to the fullest. Please, if you have any more questions, we can do a Q&A or write comments here. I'm deeply, deeply passionate about this topic, and I want as many women as possible to have the experiences that I had. The success to a natural, unmedicated, happy birth is to put on your do not disturb sign, because you want to be authentically you and connect with you and with the core of you, and you don't want 1,000 people telling you what to do. Do not disturb, ladies. Too many people for too long have been telling women what they need to do. It's time we take the power back. If this story resonated, share it with a friend who might need to hear it. YouTube just launched a new function to hype the video, and that really helps us reach new listeners. If you could press the hype button, that will help us a lot. I'll see you next time on Do Not Disturb.